I just spent a good stretch of time with this curious looking car for a review story, and in this video I'm going to answer the question that I got the most often from everyone who saw it, and that question was, what is that weird looking Honda? Well, it's called the Honda Clarity, and it's a sort of four-door sedan, five-door hatch-looking thing. Maybe just call it a sedan with a backpack, and it's front-wheel drive, and it has room for 4 adults and their things, and its main goal is to be really, really good on fuel. That's fuel as in gasoline, which powers the 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine under the hood. It's an engine pretty much the same as you'd find in any other small, fuel-efficient car. But there's also an electric motor powered by a big battery full of electricity, and that motor can do some of the work of driving the car some of the time, meaning that the gas engine doesn't have to all of the time. So a car like this uses electricity to help save gasoline. There's a special word for this setup, and by definition, it means something that's composed of mixed parts, or in this case, a drivetrain composed of a gas engine and an electric motor. That special word is, of course, hybrid, same idea as the Toyota Prius, which is easily the world's most popular hybrid car. But the Honda Clarity is a special type of hybrid called a plug-in hybrid, or PHEV, which you can call a PHEV. In a regular hybrid like that Prius I mentioned, there is no plug, like this one, on the side of the Honda Clarity. And that's because the batteries in a regular hybrid car are, effectively, self-recharging. Thanks to a small generator attached to the hybrid's gasoline engine, the very act of driving the car around recharges its batteries. So why the plug on the Honda Clarity? What makes it a plug-in hybrid and not a regular hybrid? Or put another way, why do some hybrids have plugs and others don't? Well, the battery is a big part of it. In a PHEV like this one, the battery can store much more energy than the battery in a regular hybrid. So much, in fact, that the engine-driven generator I mentioned earlier simply can't recharge the battery to full on its own. And that's where the plug comes in. Plugging your plug-in hybrid into a plug fills that bigger battery up completely, since the onboard generator can't. What to do with all of that extra power? Well, what the Honda Clarity does with it is lets you drive about 70 kilometers using only electricity for propulsion, no gasoline whatsoever. And when you've used up that 70-kilometer electric driving range, the gasoline engine comes to life automatically and uneventfully. There's nothing for the driver to do, and in fact, you probably wouldn't even notice the switch. So now you're in gas-electric hybrid mode, using the engine and the extra electric power created by its generator to keep cruising efficiently for another 550 kilometers or so. And when the gas tank is empty, then just refill it and keep on going. In a PHEV like this one, you never need to plug it in, since you've always got gasoline hybrid power available. So you plug in when it's convenient to do so, but you never have to if it's not. And so it's like having an electric car for shorter drives and a really fuel-efficient hybrid car after that. It's like driving an electric Tesla for your around-town errands or daily commute, and a Toyota Prius on longer trips. Now, I keep referencing the Toyota Prius because it is the most popular hybrid car in the world, though Honda does build some hybrid cars, including one called the Insight, which looks like this, and that's their competitor to the Toyota Prius. Anyways, back to the Clarity, and I'll leave you with some facts and figures and a look at the cabin, which, by the way, is a pretty nice place to be for most of the right reasons. Pricing from about 41,000 Canadian dollars or 44,000 Canadian dollars for this fully loaded touring model, and that's before any incentives or rebates that may or may not be available. If you're wondering, recharging the Clarity's battery is about a 12-hour task on a standard 120-volt outlet, but if you have a 240-volt level 2 charger installed at home, like mine, then you'll recharge it in less than 3 hours. And those figures are to recharge an empty battery, by the way, and you don't have to recharge that battery fully before you head out for an all-electric drive. Now, the all-electric range of the Honda Clarity or any other PHEV vehicle will be lower in colder months because batteries like to be warm. I didn't get to drive this in those conditions because it's July, and in Sudbury, Ontario, where I live, winter doesn't come until mid-August. But on a really cold winter day, it's safe to say you'd be good for something like 40 or 50 kilometers of electric driving instead of 70. I'll finish with 2 questions. First, how often do you drive more than about 70 kilometers before parking your car for hours on end? And finally, how cool would it be to go to the gas station a few times a year instead of a few times a month? Thanks for watching.